Hello everyone, Joan here from Team Bring Infinity, bringing you my Dark Hero deck profile post Terror of the Inverse Omni. I will warn you, this deck is not complete. I do not have as many copies of Makuro as I would want to play. I do have a little amount, but it works for now. I did get into top 8 with this deck, but this is not the exact build. If you want the exact build, give this video 5 likes, and I will do a video with that and my sideboard. Oh no, you could have saw something. Anyway. This is my current build after doing tweaks after playing it in the tournament. I got top 8, yay, I got wrecked in top 8 because bad hands are bad when you draw all spells or all monsters, no item, and just getting wrecked. Either way, I've been liking Dark Heroes. I didn't play Demon Wars because, I did not have enough Dank Miserius. I did not have enough Dankness to want to warrant playing that. But I did have a lot of fun. I mean, I don't show a lot of love to my other decks as much as Demon Lords. And I do really enjoy Dark Heroes, and they did get exactly what I always wanted for them, which is defense that isn't Mock Braver, because I hate Mock Braver because I think it's a piece of crap. Either way, we get on to the profile. You got your hero wolf flag, and you got your buddy. I choose the Scar. The Scar is by far, like I always say, the coolest Dark Hero, and I still find him very useful. I see many builds take him out, and I'm like, why? This card is ridiculous, because Dungeon and Star Dragon don't have many ways to deal with just a 3 crit with 4,000, because they can't crossbow / bear call Bared it, and then if they use something like Dungeon using Pillar of Fire, or they use soul arms, then they're just wasting a lot of cards to stop a 3 crit, and I don't really care. But Scar is still really great, and let me just get on to the rest. We have 3 copies of Noble Darkness Kill Knight. I really like this card. It is your Boomerang Dragon now. He's literally a 2/1/1, and as long as you have a Dark Hero item at the end of the battle, he'll return to your hand. If not, he'll just stick in your center or wherever you put him. And he has the ability, if he's put from my hand into a drop zone, then I can either get rid of my opponent's gauge, 1 card from my opponent's gauge, or I can gain a gauge myself. So it can make Schwartz SD into 3 gauge gain. It can make damage control just hilarious, give you some discard properties with this 1 card. I really like this card. It's really versatile and really good. I was playing 4 in the initial build, like, I played in 20, but, it got a little cloggy, or even hilariously at 4, I didn't see it enough. But at 3, I started drawing it more, which made a little sense to me, being sensibly into probability and other math, algorithms, but, I'm gonna bore you. Next up, we have 3 copies of Schwartz SD. Schwartz SD is 3/2/1, and it has the ability of when it enters the field, I can discard a Dark Hero and gain 2 gauge, yay! And at the end of the battle, it returns to my hand. So it is a really versatile size 1. It's like the Gwen I always wanted, and it gives gauge, yay! It may not have Shadow Dive, and I still play Gwen in the main, but I still just love this card because it gives 2 gauge. It makes me never want to play Hyper Energy, and I still have never played Hyper Energy because I think that card sucks in this deck. You want to know why? I'm not telling you, because it's a lot of fucking explanation, and no one's going to believe me, but if people actually played this deck, they would understand Hyper Energy is not that great. Anyway. Next up, we have 3 copies of Darkness Fist Gwen. This is basically one of your weird and versatile ones, I would say. It gets basically Shadow Dive if you have another Dark Hero attribute on the field, and the most annoying yet best thing about Gwen is it goes to the hand as soon as you deal the damage. So if your opponent blocks it, Gwen's stuck and messes up Deathcrest plays. That is the only real flaw of Gwen. Other than that, I don't really have a problem with this card. I do Bryden in a way if someone blocks it. Like, oh, they're like, I'm gonna block it to stop Deathcrest, and I have Bryden, and I'm like, you didn't stop shit. 4 copies of Buddy, so I'm not gonna get into more detail. And the unfortunate, like I warned you, the 2 copies of Knife Omni Brave Lord Makuro. I would be playing 3 to 4, but like I said, annoying ass card to get. People are playing this too much. Why are you all playing this? You don't care about having doing his ability. All you want to do is have defense on an item. Screw you. Anyway, Makuro is a really, really fantastic card. Okay, transform, pay 1 gauge. You all probably know that. 5/5, and the ability, if at the end of the battle there's no monsters on the field, then I can pay a gauge, restand him, and he gets an extra crit. So ridiculous amount of stuff. There is a secret tech I play in this deck, that was told by Chris of TBI for me to play it, and I kept arguing with him that I wouldn't do it. And ironically, it won me so many of my games in top 8 that I have to commemorate Chris for telling me to play that combo. You'll see the card later. We have 2 copies of Lord Crow. I like this card because it's a great first turn play. It's 6/2/4. When it enters the field, it gains me 1 gauge, and when at the end of the battle, if there is another Dark Hero, he kills himself. So if there isn't a Dark Hero, he doesn't kill himself. So if I have first base, my favorite thing to do with this card is first turn have first base, and call this. I can choose to draw engage or gauge and draw, either order. It's up to the player. And then I just swing for 2. This sticks in my center, so they're gonna have to kill it, and I can just go off next turn after the charge and draw and have basically 5 gauge to start going in. And last up, we have 3 copies of Shadow Hero Scores. I do have a 4th copy. I do. It's right over in my like stack of like, what if I choose to play these commons and rares and triple R's and junk I have? But I still don't want to play 4 because 1, can search it. 2, there's times where too many scores is not a good thing, and lastly, it is retrievable from a drop zone. Wait, how? You'll see later. Anyway, 7/2/4, it can return to hand at the end of the battle, and Dumb Strike when entered the field, destroy monster. Everyone knows this. If you haven't watched the anime somehow and not know about whatever, everyone knows who Shores is. Besides 3s, we have 4 finally Fire Lord, Burn Nova. Burn Nova is 3 gauge, and when you're basically about to hit 0, you go to 1, and then this pays your gauge, and everything in your hand and field is gone. And then you just live when you weren't supposed to, and you can't be dealt damage, and he can't be destroyed for the turn, and then you start going in next turn and hope you win with 9/8 triple attack. That's all there is to it. Then I have 2 copies of 100 Demon General. Brighten. Brighten is 8/6, and counter, we storm it in. We storm it in lets me basically get rid of a Dark Hero or 100 Demon. I mean, mainly Dark Hero because it's a Dark Hero deck. Sorry, I had to go do something. Anyway, 8/6. Where was I? Anyway, Brighten I mainly use for like when my Dark Hero's not gonna hit, so I can go counter. We storm it in, get rid of the Dark Hero that's not gonna hit anyway, and start going in with a Brighten. He goes back to my hand at the end of the battle, and if I have an item and if it's Makuro, then I can start swinging for more damage, and just lots of shenanigans can ensue from there. Death Crest or other things. Then we get on to my spells, where there's a lot of 2-ofs, because I try to go for versatility with this list. Anyway, we have 2 Evil Aesthetics. This is sort of a meta call, because Dark Heroes really, really, really cannot deal with getting their item popped. There's so much item hate, and most other decks can just say, oh, I just play like 8 items or 20 items or whatever the frick now, or they can just get it back from the drop. I'm just like, can I protect it? Nope. Can I get it back from the drop? No, other than this thing now. So this was my last option. Basically, pay a gauge and a life, and I can either add 2 Dark Heroes of the same size, or up to 2 Dark Heroes of the same size, or in a Dark Hero item. I can add Sneak Judgment back, or I can add Makuro and another size 2 back, which is really, really helpful. What I really like to do sometimes is get a Lord Crow and a Makuro, so then it basically pays for the Makuro that I'm about to equip. So it's really nice. Sometimes I don't really dislike this card, but I've had trouble with it in the past. And the tech that Chris insisted I do with Makuro, I will probably get this off more when I have more Makuro, but good lord, this card is crazy. Arduous Training. You can only cast it if you have a Rider Transform. Makuro's Transform. I pay a life, and I give it 5,000 power, critical, +1, and penetrate. This is stupid with Makuro. All I have to do is basically let all my Dark Heroes just fly away and go to the hand or drop zone or wherever they want to go. And then this goes in when I get Makuro, and Makuro just goes, okay, I'm 10,000 3 crit or 15,000 4 crit, swing, restand for a gauge, and swing again for 4 to 5 crit. This is ridiculous. I literally stole games all day on Saturday with this card. This is ridiculous. I really have to just thank Chris for telling me to put this in. I have 2 copies of I'm Finished With You. This is basically your Shadow Guard. This is just destroy Dark Hero and then gain a gauge and draw. This is usually only used when I'm have a Kill Knight stuck in my center if I don't have an item, or something fun like when a Dark Hero doesn't hit, so then I just cast this and I go, okay, I'll just get a gauge and draw. And the card sometimes I combo with it, or just Scar in general. He was the lowest rank. Most people just disregard this card in Dark Heroes. I don't see why, because literally just if a Scar dies or they just kill Gwen because they're like, no, Gwen's gonna Shadow Dive me, then I just go, okay, cast this, add a Schwarz, add a Makuro, add an item, something I need can go to my hand immediately, and it's for free. Why would I not play this? And then 2 Fighting for the Sake of the Others, which are Draconic Grimoire clone, man. Then we have 4 copies of each set spell, which is, this one's interesting. I'll get to that later. We have 4 copies of first Dark Hero Bait Hideout. It's basically just when a Dark Hero enters the field, once per turn, you draw a card. Yay! You can only set 1 of these, and the most annoying thing is you can only set 1 of these. So since you do need draw, this is the most annoying thing when you set 1 and now 3 copies of a card in your deck is dead. So what do? You play damage control. Damage control, during your opponent's turn, you can discard a card and you reduce the next damage you would be dealt by 2. And if you discard a Battle Duty Robo, you reduce it by 4. So if you draw more damage controls, you can use them like extra nulls, kinda. So it's never really dead. Unless you, I don't know. It's not really dead. Then your basic Battle War Circle clone, I've seen to your move. Then we have 4 copies of Sneak Judgment, pay 2 gauge, 4,000 power, 2 critical, and the whole thing is it gets basically Shadow Dive if you have another Dark Hero on the field, and at the end of the, when a Dark Hero leaves the field during my attack phase, I get to draw a card, and it only activates once per turn. This card is absolutely ridiculous. It's Dark Hero's main item, other than now Makuro. Used to be Shadow Requiem, but thank God we got Makuro. Woof, Shadow Requiem sucked. Anyway, this card is absolutely fantastic. It gives you the extra draws that Dark Hero's really shitty defense needs. It is really helpful with the offense too. The annoying thing only about it is the 2 gauge, but Shadow Hero Schwarz, not Shadow Hero Schwarz. Schwarz's D really helps with that, so it's not really that much of a bother. Then we have 3 copies of your main way of winning most of your games, Infinity Death Crest, which is pay 2 gauge as long as you have no monsters and a Dark Hero item equipped. You will basically win the game if your opponents have 4 less life by doing 4 unreducible damage. So anyway, that is my Dark Hero deck. Hope you guys like this video. Subscribe to see me bring for more Buddyfight content. If you want to see my Dark Hero top 8 locals report kind of thing, just give this video 5 likes, and you'll be able to see my sideboard. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. Joe from Team Rank 50 going in.